Keeping Up with Ant Canada TV. You always tell me that I should focus on guys who are of the culture, men who are Zimbabwean.
Yeah.
But in reality, there are none.
None where? Here?
Here.
What do you mean?
No, let me explain. You know, the guys that I'm around, guys that I grew up around, they're mostly, or, you know, guys that I go to school with or whatever. The ones that are available are usually from different parts of Africa, the Caribbean, Europe, or, you know, North America. And then the few that are Zimbabwean are now family.
Oh no.
So, and it's hard to just turn the switch on like boom.
No, if they are not blood, you just turn it on. Just turn it on. Don't worry, because we didn't have any family, any friends around. We call them family.
No.
But if they are not blood, please turn it on.
No. Or they're young. And then on the flip side, the ones that are mature, it's like they're old.
What?
No, seriously.
What do you mean old?
I mean, okay, they could be in their 30s, like, you know, early 30s, but they look old. You look at a Zimbabwean material, and you're like, what happened?
At the age of 14, you decided to turn yourself 21. and then you started looking at life from the horizon, like very far away. Everything is still the same. These guys who are 30, they still look 30. They are okay. You guys are looking, mwah, you guys are okay. This is her hallucination in her head. Turn on the switch. We don't have family around here. It's just a handful of them.
I can't turn on the switch on the turn on the switch on the other ones, and then these ones are little. I'm young, you know. I need a little.
Oh yeah,
fresh juice.
You won't be young for a long time. You know that, right? Anyway, I don't know what you mean by young, because you won't be that young all the time. You know, you need somebody who is mature, somebody who is not into materialistic things. Because sometimes you guys are talking about somebody being hip or being woke because of maybe what they are driving. Right?
No,
what they are wearing. Yeah.
And no. When I say hip and woke, I mean like, you know, that
you mean
like
the
having
depth,
class, like, you know,
communication,
the way you walk, the way you represent yourself, you know, just
the walk. You mean the step?
No, I mean how you carry everything, how you carry yourself. What's in here and what's in here will be reflected out of here. That's just what it is. So you gotta stop dressing like you a street.
But I don't like the way you walk.
Okay, but you understand what I'm saying? You know, there's confidence.
Yeah, but I can tell you. I can tell you. Ultimately, I don't like the way you walk. Can you kind of tweak it a little bit? And you can do that, right?
I can't tell you to have confidence in yourself.
No, it's not about confidence. Okay,
so that's what I mean. Is that me and you walk differently. You might not like the way I walk in heels per se, but when I stand up, when I take that step, you know exactly. You can feel it. You know the demeanor is this person is confident.
There are a lot of things that you might not like on me, but you can tell me, Mommy, why don't you fix here, and I'll fix it. If I love you and you love me,
there is only so much I can be fixing. I ain't a fixer-upper. I am not a fixer-upper. There's your mom. Their mamas can do that.
Okay, so that's the thing that would turn you off from dating a Zimbabwean.
Yeah, but so yeah, we agree to disagree.
No, because you know, honestly, okay, this is the reason why I tell you all the time why it is important to date somebody who is from your culture. People are going to change, right? Mm-hmm. People are going to be different to some extent based on what is happening around them. You are lovey-dovey now because you're coming back to my house to eat my food, to wear the clothes that I bought for you. When you are now, say, married to that person you thought is hip and is woke or is whatever you guys are using out there. And then when it's time for you guys now to be living together, and now they're trying to cook plantain, and you don't eat plantain, there's going to be a problem. I'm talking about the basic things, but there are bigger things. There are bigger things. I'm just picking on small things that I know could be very subtle, but they mean too much, right? So it is very important. The reason why, now I'm talking to all of you kids out there. The reason why as parents we always emphasize on stay within. I know there are a lot of parents from different cultures, different backgrounds that will emphasize this. It's not like that we have hate in our hearts.
Is the person ambitious? Are they aiming to go somewhere? And sometimes in the process of doing that, you won't have money. So I can understand. That's not something that I'm hard on. But to meet someone who, it's obvious they have no direction in life, but they have all the advantages just like I do and all the opportunities there, and they're not doing anything with it, and that's why they're broke, that's a totally different story. Then it's a deal breaker. Do you get what I'm saying? It's one thing to be on your way to something, but just like being in school and not having the money because you're on your way to being somewhere. But another thing, you have all those opportunities and you're not using them to your advantage. You rather just sit and do nothing. And there are people like that. Then that's a deal breaker.
And then you meet a guy who has lots of money.
Where is the money coming from?
Yeah.
And how did you get it? Because a lot of these days, everyone's doing fraud and all these things. Everyone is just doing whatever they can to get money. They will risk it all. So it's getting it the right way. How did you get it? Integrity.
Yes.
And principle. So I wouldn't judge. It's harder. It actually becomes harder when someone has money, because I want to know everything. How did you get it? Who are you around? Because generally people with money are in places they shouldn't be, and they have a lot of females.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
And they have a lot of females because they have all those advantages, because everybody wants it. They like the attention and everything.
Yeah, that's the stereotype. But there are some people who really have money and they're comfortable in that. They will have that one girlfriend, one wife and stuff like that. Most of the times when a man who has money approaches you, you have to know, is he principled? And what is it to be principled? And does he use that money as a weapon? Does he use the money as a tool? Okay? So those are the most important things.
And what about a man who doesn't have money? How do you evaluate that? Because for we women, I think a lot of them fall in love with potential. There's two types of women. There are women on the extreme side who only go for people with money. That's their first thing. You gotta have money. And then on the other extreme is women who constantly are falling in love with the fact that he could be this. And then when he's not, you're like, I wasted my whole life on someone who could have been.
The problem is expectations, right? So you meet a guy who doesn't have money. I'm not talking about guys who are spending time watching Jerry Springer. No.
So that's why I'm saying I think there's a thin line.
So, but there is a person who, like these days, people go to universities and they are done, they have a degree, and after all is said and done, they can't find a job. Or whatever type of job they find is not exactly what they want. Right. And by so doing, they are living that life where they are living from one paycheck to another.
Yes.
You have to have that common sense to say, okay, this is a guy who is trying. He is capable of doing it. But you have to remember again, it's not about your time. It's not about his time. It's about God's time. He decides when things are going to work out. But he's looking for patience from both of you, and he's looking for consistency. You can work together to get to that point. Maybe you might not get to that point. It's not all about money. It's about love. Say I'll be like, I wish you could get maybe an engineer,
Zimbabwean
and a tall guy, and all these things. And then all of a sudden you bring me somebody, you bring me a soldier.
And it's not what you guys
want.
It's
not what I imagined.
For me.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would you do? Would you go by that?
No, definitely not. Because if I find someone, because the first thing you ever taught me is you find someone who loves you. So if I'm bringing somebody, you best bet that person loves and respects me.
Yeah.
Everything else, you taught me cosmetics are not that important.
Yeah.
So even if that's something that's what you imagine from me, and it's not it, if it has nothing to do with how he treats me and how he treats other people, then I won't take it.
But when are you gonna take my advice or everybody around this advice? Those that love you, okay, I'm making the decision to go along with this guy of mine or not to go along. I'm trying to look for the direction that you would take if we say we don't like this guy.
So first of all, I think my first thing is I compare whatever you've taught me or whatever you've set, whatever standard you've set. So if it's, someone who loves you and then someone who's patient, someone who's whatever, and then someone who's an engineer, I pick at the things that are based off of principle.
Okay.
Not so much cosmetics, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Principle and the fact that even if you are a soldier, can you still be the head of the home? Have a foundation in God, but also provide financially. If you're able to do those things, then whether you're an engineer, or a doctor, or whether you have a BMW and you have a Saturn, that all doesn't matter. As long as I can compare the little things you've taught me, the principles, with what God expects.
Okay.
Everything else.
Yeah. So my point here is, it's always God who has to make that decision. So if you pray, you have faith, you understand, and God, if you pray about it, God will, by all means, be guiding us to as parents to say, okay, this is how I want it to be, and this is how I will set it up.
Right.
By faith, we'll all move. So the reason why I'm asking you is, there are times when a situation is brought to you. A guy comes in and I say, I don't like him. Your father says he doesn't like him. Somebody else says they don't like him. You have to be smart enough to understand that sometimes it's not about me, it's not about everybody else, it's about what God wants, and you can only know if you have faith in God. What is it that will make a man say, voila, I found myself a woman? What do you bring to the table?
First of all, a woman who is grounded in Christ. Because a woman who's grounded in Christ has principles and knows how to be a woman in the home.
Yes.
Because that's what it's about, home. So, just to break it down, a woman who can feed her home.
Okay.
Make sure that they're full. The appetite is pleased.
Oh, hallelujah, somebody.
Second of all, a woman who carries herself with dignity. When she walks, when she gets up, even the demons tremble. Hallelujah, somebody.
Are you that woman?
Trying to be.
Hallelujah.
Second of all, a woman who's going to give you peace. There's nothing worse than getting home and you expect that the home be peaceful, and you get there and it's just like, you don't want to be there. I want him to know that I'm his safe place, When he comes, wherever I am, there is peace, there is love, there is happiness, there is joy.
Okay. Hallelujah. The table is filling up.
A woman who can train her children, a woman who knows how to train children, a woman who's taught by her mother to train children the right way, and in Christ.
Yes.
A woman who can carry herself, take care of herself in terms of, the body, in terms of health, the way she looks, because that's very important. Keep things on fire.
Oh, yes.
Hallelujah, somebody. And a woman, when she walks, her confidence, the way she speaks, everything about her makes everybody just say, wow.
Okay.
And dressed appropriately. A woman who makes others, a woman who's modest, but most importantly, makes the whole world wonder how and why. What is it that makes it different? Hallelujah, somebody.
This is sweet, but are you that woman? Because you're at that point where somebody will say, wow, I found myself.
I'm getting there, getting there. You know best than anyone else. It takes you go through experiences will teach you, because you think you have it, and then something comes and it shows that you really don't.
Okay.
But I'm working on it.
So the most important thing, like you said, is principle, and only those principles are godly principles. Everything that you do after that will just wrap up everything. So a man who finds you has to say, voila.
Her mama did a good job.
Yes. Mama done training.
Daddy done loved her.
Yes, yes. So, and it's very important. These days, people think cooking, sweeping, cleaning up and all is not that important. That is the gist of the matter. That's the gist of the matter. Because at some point, things are not going to be as dandy and as sweet as we would expect. At some point, you might not have money that you used to have. You have no maids. You have to improvise everything. So you have to be able to do things. Your husband's shirt is torn, you have to sew it. Those are the small little things that you have to learn as a woman, because at some point you will need that. Definitely need that, because you cannot guarantee anything. Nothing is guaranteed to you. Nothing, absolutely. So you learn those things, and with what you say, the table is filled and you're ready.
And these people know exactly what they're talking about. They went through the exact same things. It's just the pressures of the world are much more than before, but the experiences, there's nothing new. So they know exactly what they're talking about.
It is very important for us parents to really understand that you see where she's coming from, she has to see where I'm coming from, and we meet in the middle. All that we said is what's going on in a lot of homes. It's very important to look out for those things. We can take them for granted, and they can take us for granted. The important part is to be grounded in Christ. He is the only one who can make things possible. Am I saying it's going to be easy? No, not at all. It's not going to be easy. The only easy way is to know Him, and He will guide our steps. So for girls who are growing up out there, bring something to the table. The guys, you definitely have to bring something to the table too.